Barron Trump, so tall, knows how to operate and turn on a computer. Wow. Donald Trump loves his son, Barron Trump, despite never really being able to think of ways to characterize him that seem at all heartfelt. Like, for example, quote, "I've got a very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him?" So every time he's asked about Barron, he's like, he's so smart and he knows how to be tall and he does school, I think. So very close relationship there. But for all of maybe the warm and cuddly nature that's not there, Donald Trump is making up for it with letting his son Barron get in on the family business and make a bunch of money. Now, please, if you're MAGA and you spent a minute outraged about Hunter Biden because he made money and you felt like it was off of Joe Biden's name, and you don't have a problem with this, you need to do some soul searching. Here's a Forbes piece. "I've got a very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him?" Donald Trump asked jokingly at an inauguration event in January. The president's 6'8" or so youngest son, who rarely makes public appearances, stood up and waved at the crowd. He said, "Dad, you've got to go out and do Joe Rogan," Trump bragged, crediting Barron's insights with helping win more young voters. He also gives his 19-year-old credit for showing him a thing or two about crypto. Barron, who taught his dad what a wallet is, I'm assuming a crypto wallet, co-founded World Liberty Financial, a cryptocurrency company, with his father and oldest brothers last year, less than 2 months before the 2024 election. Most financial advisors wouldn't advise getting your parents into crypto, but most parents aren't about to be the elected president. And so then World Liberty Financial exploded. Forbes estimates that added over $1.5 billion to Trump family fortunes, about 10% of which, or $150 million, belongs to Barron. So Barron is, how old did it say? Whatever. Could you look up? Really young.
19, I believe.
19? He's 19 and he's already $100 millionaire. Not because, inside a sort of a loose sense, eventually he'll get the inheritance of Trump and that's going to be, not that. He got in on this crypto business, a business that foreign governments, people across the world with interests in the U.S. government doing certain things, can funnel billions of dollars to the Trump family, including Barron, who doesn't have any reason, any justification to legitimately be doing. They always say, well, I'm not worried about Trump family corruption because the Trump sons are already running businesses across the world. So like, what are they going to stop? They're just doing their business things. And then that happens to be exploding their wealth suddenly when Trump's second term started. But their problem with Hunter Biden was that he didn't actually have the proper qualifications to work at Burisma, despite him being a lawyer. But and having a really, really big portfolio. And so Marjorie, you remember? So in this case, you definitely can't make Barron's just long time been a businessman. He was just given stake in this company so he can get really rich as foreign governments funnel money into Trump's family, and then Trump gives them perks. So everyone's getting to suck off the teat of Trump's office, including Trump. I explained this more during this bar fight episode that I did. Let me remind you of this. Let me remind you of this moment. Please do stick around for it. Click the subscribe button.
Well, here's my question. If Republicans are worse for the economy, then how come Nancy Pelosi's tracker is doing so much better than the Republican one? By almost 3 or 6%.
Because Democrats are better at the economy. That's why.
No, because I think that they're better. Is insider trading better for the economy?
No,
insider trading corrupt information?
Yeah, so insider trading is horrible. I think Nancy Pelosi shouldn't be able to do that. I think every member of Congress shouldn't be able to do that, obviously. Okay, wait. Democrats have been fighting for that a heck of a lot longer than Republicans have. And the reason I don't like it is because it could lead to corruption, which is also why I don't like Trump's meme coin, his AI chips deal.
Okay.
With the UAE, and his open brazen corruption with funneling money to. So it's the same reason I don't like the Pelosi stuff or anyone else using their insider information, I think it should be banned. I don't think Trump would ever sign that into law. I don't think Trump should be profiting off of his presidency either.
But with Trump, it's not to say that there aren't questions, about, he obviously he's an international businessman, he has the crypto thing, he has all that. I'm just saying.
You're against it, though. You can't be against it for Pelosi and then for Trump.
No, I guess I think what Pelosi is doing is illegal for every American other than members of Congress.
Right.
And what Trump is doing is really not illegal in any way.
What?
So you might say you don't like it. You might say we should pass laws against it.
No, there's plenty of laws.
Isn't it
It
also
does get a
true
little
that
murky.
Trump is the only president to take a pay cut in office?
No,
so why does
that's not true.
He's
Yeah,
making
doesn't take a
sorry,
salary.
I'm
He's
not
right
now.
His net
I'm
worth
just
is
an art major, dude. I don't know.
his net worth has increased by billions just since he got in office. So, I mean, just be consistent. I've been very consistent.
No.
Be consistent.
I am
You
being
are
consistent.
obvious. If you did one story about Hunter Biden, you better be 100 times as outraged at Trump getting the UAE to invest billions, make his World Liberty Financial billions in a business deal, and then immediately, all of a sudden, he releases the restrictions on the AI chips that they really wanted, and which could then get into China's hands because he was enriched. Same thing with the Binance guy. He ends up pardoning the guy after Binance makes a bunch of money for World Liberty Financial. That's brazen corruption, right?
Yeah, I guess my point is
Yes.
on some of these. No, I don't. On a lot of these financial dealings with Trump, a lot of it occurred during the interregnum. The crypto thing occurred before he was brought in.
No, not the UAE deal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you brought up crypto earlier, which is usually the one that most people point to.
I'm saying, how could you justify someone giving benefits to either people through pardons or countries through restriction relief after that country or that person enriches his family to the tune of billions?
Yeah, I think that President Trump has done a very good job being an international businessman,
What are you
leveraging
doing?
relationships
Why are you
for the
giving,
good of the
weird
United
talking
States. I think that's true. And what I
How
also
could
think.
you be wait, were you ever mad about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden?
Yeah, I was mad that the Biden family
Well, then
sold
I can't
American
take you
influence.
seriously. You're mad.
So I've played it before, but I'll stop it there. It's bonkers to me because there are things I could imagine something that you bring up, and I realize in real time that, you know what, I was outraged about that when Trump did it, and then Biden just did it. So I'm just need to admit it. Doesn't mean that like all of a sudden you're admitting the person you're arguing against is right on everything. It just means being principled. So like if I criticize Trump a bunch for sending out that post saying Constitution could be terminated because of the election being stolen, it's like, that's dangerous. The Constitution could be terminated. If Biden all of a sudden sent that out, it wouldn't be, well, no, see, the thing about Biden is when he does it, he has this history of speaking in more metaphorical ways. But with Trump, I would just go, that's horrible. And now that they've both done it, those can equal out, and I still think Trump's worse, right? Like if that had happened, I would still have to be deeply and profoundly opposed to the fact that Biden did that. But instead, he just gives a bunch of mumbo jumbo, which is they pretended like they were outraged about Hunter Biden because he was making money doing business, and it probably helped him that his last name was Biden because people are thinking this guy's a part of a powerful family. But Joe Biden never benefited financially, and you never linked Joe Biden making a policy decision to the Biden family, anyone in it, getting funneled money. They will say, yes, we did, but we've debunked those examples. But then with Trump, you have not just him directly being enriched, but these clear examples like what I heard, what you heard me say in that clip about the UAE shenanigan and the pardons. And he's doing things directly for people after they funnel money to him in his crypto venture or something else. That is corruption, just plain and simple. That's what so many of our norms have tried to prevent. And now it's so brazen that they're going 19-year-old Barron, who doesn't have any reason to be involved. He's not out of college yet. He doesn't have the qualifications. It's not like he's a crypto genius. This isn't independent from his father. He's just getting funneled money so that people will maybe be in Trump's favor. Good for Barron, I guess, but bad for the stability of our democracy. Now, with all of that, I think we need some good news. You know, that was kind of it. That was infuriating. We need some good news. And I saw a man named Matt Van Swole gave us that good news. Breaking, and the alarm thing. The alarm, like the siren, and breaking. So it's a big deal. Let's see. The University of North Carolina, Asheville has completely removed all of its all-gender bathroom signs. It has replaced them with single occupancy restroom signs. Cheering. Huge win for the company that sells those little signs, someone said. Who? That's breaking news to some people. Good for them. I'm really happy for them. Couldn't all gender be both? I guess they take issue with all, because it's still multi-gender, single occupancy restroom. It is interesting that it's man, woman, and wheelchair person. That is kind of a weird way to do the sign. Like, well, one in a wheel, they're also going to fall into. Okay, all right. That's what someone's joke was why is it broken up like that? But I guess it's identifying this is either gender and also it is disability friendly. That makes sense. But that's just a huge win for lots of people in MAGA. They're just really relieved, and they can sleep soundly tonight. Happy for them.